67 degrees and sunny. That is our weather here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as Rockland faces Norwell. Joining me momentarily is DJ Ragel. But for now, Tommy, the stat demon himself. And this should be a fantastic matchup. But I wanted to talk about, obviously it was a rough start for Rockland last time out. What do you think they need to improve on to beat this Norwell team?
Pitching. You just gotta make sure you get in. You just get out to that early lead, like we did talk about last time. Gotta get out to that early lead. And all I need to say is just hopefully this isn't like one of the Rockland hockey games where Norwell just is very good and they just run away with the game early.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about pitching. That's the matchup we have. We have Horwitz for Norwell and Hatch again for Rockland. So
kind of surprising.
Kind of surprising, yes, just because just talking about it from a perspective, it was one of those situations where that was sort of the reason why the game got lost on them. So yeah. I don't know who they're going to go after this, but obviously It's going to be a rough outing for sure. Maybe Hatch can have a comeback game.
Yeah, well, it does say on the lineup that every single pitcher that they've had is available for today's matchup. So yeah, it should be a fun one.
Obviously, that includes Levy, who we saw early on, Nicholson, both players who can easily be great players for this team. But overall, I mean, Rockland trying to get back into the win column. They've had a little bit of a off and on season, but like we said before, it goes back to the fact that this is a young team. Like when I talked to Coach Doyle a few weeks back, and it still holds up to this day, this is a team full of juniors. This is a team full of sophomores. There's some freshmen who are starting on this team that it really has a chance to be even more of a complete team going into next season.
Yeah, and look at it, and speaking of the freshman stuff, you have Dustin Ayer, who I think is batting second today. He's a freshman. He shows really good potential, and he could be one of the stepping stones in being one of the leaders come in the future years for Rockland.
Yeah, when you talk about the batting, is there anyone who you consider an X factor for Rockland to try and win this game?
I do have to say Rao, due to he's the first guy up, so it's kind of like hockey. Like whoever you have as your goalie, that's the one you gotta work with. He sets the tone for the whole entire team. Like if he starts off bad for the game, Norwell knows, okay, it's gonna be a bad bunch of lineups. If he starts off good, he says, oh, it's gonna be a bunch of good bats in the lineup.
Obviously, we have our game starting momentarily. So Rockland will go on defense first. So Hatch will be up. Obviously, Colin Rao will be your catcher. So it's going to be really interesting. Levy over there at first base, so maybe that's sort of the pitching change that you want, because usually that first base to pitching transitions is pretty good, so maybe we see that. And what do you expect out of this Norwell team? Because we really haven't heard much about them this season.
Yeah, I expect a good young ball team to just be not dominant over Rockland. I think they just need to be I think they're kind of on the same level as them. Both teams, as they said multiple times, the toughest league to come out of and win a state title is the South Shore League, and both teams are fighting for it. So it's neck and neck. So it's you lose one game, great. Now you have to fight back and try to get another one. So we'll see what happens here today.
Yeah, it's actually a sunny day now, so there's not going to be any issues with weather when it comes to stuff like that. Overall, should be a fantastic game. Any last points?
No, that's basically it. If I had to give a score prediction, I'm going to go 6-3 Dogs.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with a 7-4 victory. Rockland, just one more score each side. I feel like Rockland's one of those teams that, when they live up to their potential, they are one of the best teams in the entire conference. Yeah, I think most people can agree with that, just because we've seen them against Hull, who's a really good team and a really talented team. And now seeing if they can sort of live up to that potential, that's the main thing. But here we go. Hayden Hatch will be your starter at pitcher. And coming in, my good buddy, DJ Rocco. Rocco, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Justin. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Got the Red Sox tie on today. You know how it is.
Of course, of course.
I wanted to spice it up a little bit. Last time I had the tie pin, all sinners, but this time we got the baseball tie. Got some new pins coming in soon.
So strike there. So first one up for Rockland is Hatch, but number 3 is going to be up there for Glassett, Blake, the left fielder. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't start off this conversation with something that happened in the last game. Hatch with the throw here. That'll be a strike there. How we referenced the wrong Twin Peaks. That was It was I did not know that was the Twin Peaks you were referring to until I got a DM on Instagram during the broadcast. That was a hilarious thing to see at I think 8 p.m. at night. That was funny.
I was watching the whole broadcast live. You guys did a great job. Tommy especially, great job. And when I heard you say I don't want to hear Rocco, don't want to see Rocco in a Twin Peaks outfit, I lost it.
And good hit there to left field, and that will get him on first base. First hit there for Norwell. Well, we talked about it with Tommy before you hopped on, and I kind of agree with Tommy in this sense. This is definitely, probably, if not one of the most difficult conferences to win a state title in, especially in this area.
Yeah, it's most certainly. I mean, baseball overall is so.
Yeah, it's just in any sport in general.
Yeah.
We see a lot of trying to pick off there, but that'll be safe. We talked about Hayden Hatch hopefully having a better game than last time.
Yeah, last time was pretty rough. We got my friend Gavin Matos on the mound for that one after Hayden kind of blew it for the Dogs there.
So number 9 here will be up for Norwell. And their baseman Corbin with Walsh in the hole. So trying to get back in the win column is Rockland. Hatch with the throw. That's high. That'll be a ball. Trying to get the first out. This would be a huge morale booster if Hatch can sort of right the wrongs from last season. Pick off there, but that'll be safe. I will say, even if pitching has been sort of iffy for Hatch, he's got a cannon of an arm.
That is true, yeah. Great thrower. He has a pretty good record right now if you look at his stats online as well.
Like Fortnite?
Exactly like Fortnite. No difference, actually.
Good win-loss record there.
Diamond ranked, actually.
Oh! Now we're talking. But here we go. Seems to be 2 strikes, 1 ball here. And now it looks like another ball there. But the third baseman just messing with Hatch. Mind game's huge in baseball. But it's sort of going back and forth, seeing what you can do there. But Hatch trying to get that 3rd strike. And he's going to steal here. Rao with the throw. And he saves.
Wow.
Great speed from Norwell. How about that?
Now, if you notice, I don't believe the other team is wearing the special pants like the Rockland team. They have a one singular stripe, which is not as fun.
Not as fun. Definitely be interesting if they switch the concepts. If they went the pinstripe with like a blue pinstripe.
What if they just went mainly stripes, or just all blue and 1 white stripe?
That is true. That could actually work.
Yeah.
So
That might look nice.
So look like a race car. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that could be possible. But so now a man on second. Hit there, but I'll be tipped and foul. If you missed it from last game, Rocco, I know you were watching it. We almost had a ball hit our producer's truck in the back because the amount of balls that were hit out the back of the stadium.
There was definitely a running theme last game of balls getting the opposite of a home run, going over the fans here.
A lot of foul tips there. That would be a ball there. Overall, though, looking like Rockland, we talked about the potential of this team. You know, this is a team that, if need be, wild pitch there. We'll go back to second, but we talked about this is a team of potential. This is a team of juniors, sophomores. This isn't even a freshman starting in Dustin Ayer. I think that this team's going to be even better going into next season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just thinking about this when we were talking earlier. The Rockland sports have greatly evolved in the 4 years I've been here, besides the football team. That's
trying to get it out at first. No good there. Oh. Wild pitch. Number 3 goes home. Norwell gets on the board.
1-0. Clippers?
Yes.
Clippers.
The Norwell Clippers.
Nail.
Of Los Angeles fame. Shout out Kawhi Leonard. But, yeah, I mean, it goes back to those mental mistakes and those mental errors, because that was a great throw, and you weren't going to get him out by the looks of it, but out of all people, Jake Levy having an error like that, that's surprising.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw that a lot with Maddie last game as well, where a lot of really the mental errors has been the thing holding the Bulldogs back from having a really good record. Hit there, but that would be foul tip to the left side.
There was a loud foul yell. That was could make that one out. Oh, we got someone running in front of the booth here. Was that number 12? Number 12 running in front of the booth.
Trying to just going to grab the ball.
That's very nice of you.
Little ball boy action. I mean, we had multiple balls go near the shed and hit the shed. We almost. It was actually very, very interesting. It almost hit a police car. A police car was in the back and it almost got hit. It was quite the interesting game. But here comes Hatch. That's a ball. That's what we talked about. Hatch, struggling in the pitching sense, but all pitchers are eligible for Rockland, so we could see a pitching change, whenever.
Absolutely,
Hatch.
yeah.
And they're going to be a steal here. Colin Wow trying to throw to second in time, and that'll be safe.
A lot of dust coming up from that one. Everyone's getting dirty.
Even Rockland sort of disagreeing with the call because it was close, but I mean, goes back to Colin Rao. I mean, 2 missed opportunities there, but he has an arm. He can definitely get that pick off at second base.
He actually has 2 of them.
He does. Not required for baseball, but it does help. And that will be a ball. Ball 4, and that will be a walk. So Norwell will get 2 runners on. So
Let's see what happens here.
Horwitz is up. Horwitz also the pitcher. So we'll see if he can get anything to go for the Bulldogs. Or for the Clippers, my apologies.
Like Tommy mentioned earlier, we witnessed some great Norwell Rockland games. For the baseball season, what a hit.
What a hit there. Can they get there in time? What a grab there from left field. How about that for a grab? Kudos to you, sir. How about that? What a grab from Gavin Matos. Who else?
Yeah, he's a great outfielder. You can thank me for that.
Did you train him?
I did train him. I helped him
Master
for about
Shifu
5
in
minutes.
the building.
Yeah.
That'll be a ball there. We talked about movies last time we were out, and I actually went home and watched Velocipaster that night. That was it's a joy to watch. Good hit there, but that'll be foul tip to the left side.
It is. There's another great movie you might be interested in called Attack of the Killer Donuts. That
sounds fantastic.
It is.
That sounds like a great movie.
I think it's on Peacock. That was I saw it a couple years ago. That was a fun one. I always like cheesy horror movies.
And that's going to be a high fly ball. Can they get to it? And it looks like they will.
I'm going to call that ball Rey Mysterio, how high that one went.
And that will get Rockland out on offense for the first time today. Norwell is taking advantage of some steal opportunities here, and that's really been the main difference in how that happened. But it goes back to the mental errors. It goes back to the fact that you catch that ball at first base, maybe you're not in the situation.
Yeah. And I think you need to. They got to figure out what's going on at first base. Between this game and the last game, there's been a bunch of errors at first base, causing a ton of runs to come through.
And with that being said, it looks like we'll get all the pitches out. Of course, we talked about it. Horwitz for Norwell will start here, so we'll see if he can get anything to go. Starting all the pitches and everyone should be out. Like I said before, it's a beautiful day.
It is
68 and partly cloudy.
Got
so
the sleeves rolled up today. You know how it is.
I always say professional with this.
Yeah,
Not a bad combo. Went with the black polo this time.
It's nice. It's nice. You got the tie too? No tie?
No tie.
No tie.
Not a big tie guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I prefer tie dye.
Wait, what's your favorite tie?
Tie? I have this one I'm gonna wear next Monday. The tie I'm wearing next Monday is my favorite tie I own. It is excellent. This one has a couple Red Sox legends on here. If you want to take a little peek at that, this is a fun one. Get all my ties at Savers. Shout out Savers.
Oh, always a great place to get it.
Yeah.
I'm always a big. What am I thinking of? It's Marshalls.
Marshalls, yeah.
Marshalls, if just get some value stuff there. I'm always never afraid of a good deal.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple records off there. I've flipped for triple the money I paid for them, which is always nice, you know.
I've got some.
Yeah. I'm much louder than it was last game.
So Colin Round will be up to bat, the catcher for Rockland, to get something to go on offense for the Bulldogs. A little bit of a lefty action. Tide fighter. Get our producer out of the booth. Anyways, so
go down with Pika.
So Colin Round trying to get things started for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the first. It got so bad last game that it became a mercy rule. Just getting run out of their own stadium. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, but obviously once a game gets to a mercy rule, it's just one of those games that just gets away from you.
Yeah.
Hit there over the middle, trying to get a good hit there, and lobbed, and that will be grabbed. A little bit of flair on that throw from Norwell. So Colin McKenna will be up to bat.
We do have a really good sound system here.
We do.
It's much better than it was a couple years ago.
I mean, honestly, compared to when I was in high school, I mean, production here has been fantastic for WRPS in general, with a lot of stuff as well. I mean, it goes back to our producer Seth, organizing, being the head captain for all this. So
now you're just feeding his ego.
That is the only time I will feed his ego. Here we go. Colin McKenna, that will be a ball there. Of course, Colin McKenna, a power hitter, so trying to get a hit deep there. How about that? Swing and a miss.
The wind's picking up a little bit. Hopefully, it's not a reminder of
it will never pick up as bad as our first game. I can guarantee that.
Now that you said that.
And swing and a miss. That's a strikeout for Colin McKenna. I mean, how about Dustin Ayer, though? Like we said before, he is a freshman, and he looks fantastic this season, and he has nothing but room to grow.
Yeah, he has 3 more years ahead of him. And I believe he also plays hockey. I could be wrong, but so multi-sport athlete. We have a bunch of people on the baseball team that also play hockey and lacrosse team as well.
Very interesting as well. Dustin Ayer is going to try and lead the new generation for Rockland. Even then, like we said before, this is a team that's going to at least be together 1 more year. Only one swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throws 3 strikes, and just like that, Norwell gets out of the inning. What a pitching performance from Horwitz.
Yeah, the pitching on Norwell, the Clippers, end is really some top tier stuff, and I believe our friend Tommy Welch is making his way up the stairs. Here he comes. And I'll hand it over to Tommy. And is that a Grateful Dead Scally cap today? No? Just a regular old Scally cap.
Just a regular old one.
All right, there you go, Tommy.
So here we go. We have a Tommy stats segment here. So we'll see what we have here while we have the moment as Rockland goes back on defense for the 2nd inning. How you doing, Tommy?
Good.
Don't lose that hat. It'll go away in the wind.
I get it. I get this looks unnatural, but alrighty, Hatch, 22 pitches so far for him. Horwitz only getting 10. So if I had to say Rockland Levy, that was uncommon for him, but it's just like it's an error, so it's an error. Error is an error.
That Boston accent came out a little bit.
Are we really going to do this again?
It was an error, Felka. Yeah, but overall, I mean, it goes back to Horwitz. I mean, fantastic pitching performance. Only needed 10 pitches to get 3 outs.
Yeah. So if I had to say Rockland on offense, swing for the fences. Dear Lord, it looks like
they're trying that, and Horwitz is still getting those outs. I mean,
yeah, but it's like they're like doing like all power swings. I'm just like, really? Like swing, like a grounder's a grounder, but still you could probably leg it out if you had a chance.
Yeah, it's like Moneyball. You just gotta get on base. You don't have to worry about the home run hit every single time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that will do it for the segment. We'll get our friend and buddy DJ Rocco back on here.
Were you doing a Ric Flair strut?
So
Fargo strut, actually.
So I mean, Ric Flair strut's the best way of putting it, but I mean, he
Jeff Jarrett guy.
He brought up a good point. Oh wow, that is a throwback of a name.
Double J.
But It's crazy. Horwitz only needed 10 pitches to get out of the inning. That's really impressive for Norwell.
Yeah, and Rockland was up there for a while, let a run in. I'm sure Tommy mentioned that. Top of the second inning, I was told we don't say that enough. So, who's pitching?
It's still Hayden Hatch. I don't believe they made a change. If they did, I didn't see it. Oh my goodness, a good hit, deep hit to center field. Can they grab it? Yes, they can. It's just going to be a pop fly. How about that for power from Norwell, though? My goodness.
Yeah, that was a fantastic hit.
So 1 out already. Number 8 will be up for Norwell. Otero, or as Tommy likes to call him, Oreo, as we talked about in our pre-production meeting. I don't know. I like Oreo more than Otero, but
yeah, I think that might stick a little
both
better.
names could work, you know.
Yeah. However you're feeling in the moment, you know.
It depends on if you're feeling hungry or not.
Yeah.
We got into some restaurant talk, me and Tommy.
Woo!
Ooh. Wow! It goes right to the production booth.
Everyone okay down there? I hope Bika's okay.
Is Bika okay?
Is Bika and his water jug Jesse okay?
Can we get a wellness check on Bika, please?
Water jug okay?
We're getting a wellness check. We're good? Okay, Bika's okay. We're retrieving that ball now. I think the same guy from earlier.
I think he didn't even see where the ball went.
It went directly below us and right. A little kid has it? Wow, they made the little kid give back the ball. What a jerk.
We should sue Norwell for attempting to murder the WRPS booth.
Yeah, especially Bika's water jug Jesse.
Of course, shame on them. But here we go. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's gonna be another ball.
That just
It just seems like Hatch is just continuing to struggle.
I'm sensing a new pitcher coming in soon. There's gonna be white smoke, meaning a new pitcher's gonna come in.
That. Yeah, fun fact, the Pope is a Chicago White Sox fan.
Really?
He was spotted at the 2005 World Series in a photo. Someone was able to dig that out from over 20 years ago.
That's impressive.
I think that means everything. That's fantastic. First American Pope.
Woo!
Pick off there, but that'll be safe. And the worst thing is when you let a performance like this sort of get to you mentally. It's about just worrying about the next inning and then just worry about the next pitch.
Yeah, Dogs are tied 6-6, and I believe they need to win 3 of their next games to make it into playoffs. So you can't let it stick with you too long.
I think it's 3 of the next 4.
3 of the next 4?
Yeah, with the home games that we're
the home games, yeah.
with our broadcasting.
I think we're doing. Are we doing every home game?
Yes,
we are.
Every home game. We also have a Saturday game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Little prime time slot. I'm on one of my days off. That's going to be really fun.
Yeah, 6:30 is it?
Yeah, some Rockland baseball after dark, as I like to call it. Hit there down the line, but that will be foul. I feel like our producer mentioned under the lights, but I feel like under the lights is more of a football thing.
Well, he's
Friday night lights.
Friday night lights, yeah. Is it even gonna be? Is it gonna be dark? It's gonna be dark by the end of it.
It's probably gonna be around a little bit of I like the sunsets, so we'll see a little bit.
Do you
of
think
sunset
sight is gonna be an issue when it comes to the later night games?
No, I don't think so. I do wear contacts, so if I don't wear contacts,
not for you, the players with the tiny ball coming at them.
No.
Sunset's 8 p.m., so maybe we should be fine.
So that'll be a strikeout there for Hayden Hatch. Ball called on the left side. So really interesting here. Obviously with our broadcasting, we have this little picture-in-picture.
Yeah,
very cool.
Fancy little update we did there. We bringing it back from hockey.
You did that in hockey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did it a couple
and Colin Rao tried to throw the pickoff of the steal attempt, but dropped the ball. And just mistake after mistake for the Bulldogs.
Was that literally and figuratively?
Yes.
Wow.
No hockey goals here.
Touchdown.
I mean, I think it was Cohasset. They won by 2 touchdowns in their game against Rockland. So, gonna be really interesting to see if they can bounce back. Obviously, they have some away games as well, but it'd be cool to watch the Bulldogs make a playoff berth with this young core.
I've been getting baseball clips on my Instagram feed, and there's definitely some fun ones out there where the ump just gets hit right in the face. Those are fun.
Or the ones where we
Woo!
reference rat race. How about this for a rat race? Trying to grab the buck, and he grabs it.
Wow, what a snag!
What a snag there from Rockland, and that will get them out of the inning. As I refer to it as a puck because I was talking about hockey. We're off to a roaring start here, but overall, I mean, it's been a close game. But really, if they shorten up on those errors, this is a completely dead even ball game.
Yeah, it's 1-0. This is now the going to be the bottom of the second. It's an exciting game for sure, and it's going to most certainly be a close one. But I do say that after last game where we thought it was going to be a close one and just everything blew up.
Yeah, and then even with Rockland getting that big lead, they sort of came back a little bit with Hull. Hull's still a fantastic team, very talented. I think most of the teams in this conference are really talented in their own right in certain aspects. So going to be really interesting to see if Rockland can win this game because their teams as not as talented as other teams. You know, you hear these rumors and you hear these people say that they don't know if Rockland's ready yet. And I think for Coach Joel, they're trying to prove those people wrong and at least make the playoffs because that would be a huge stepping stone.
I mean, look at the hockey team. They had a bunch of bad losses and they still made it to the first round of the playoffs. So hockey playoffs, the high school hockey playoffs kind of annoy me because it's one game. I don't think one game should be able to settle anything in hockey.
So Hayden Hatch, the pitcher for Rockland, will be up here.
Tommy's digging this song. He's getting a great dance. I wish we had a camera up here.
Getting, obviously, walk-up song Power by Kanye West. You love to see it. But here comes Horwitz. I mean,
Hatch.
Deep hit fly, and that will be grabbed. I was just referring to the pitching. But I mean, talk about Horwitz. I mean, he's been a superstar to start this game.
Horowitz?
Yeah.
Barry?
Yes.
Huh.
He's on the mound. We have a little special guest.
Speaking of Barry, we got the Bee Gees on that one.
Comes the 1-0 pitch, and that'll be ball. Overall, just looking like if they can shake up Horwitz, I feel like they have a chance to get back in this game. I think once you get into like a flow state as a sports player, that can definitely be a hindrance for the rest of the team trying to, beat this guy because he just seems like he's in such a state of not really caring about anything else. Good hit there, but that will be foul. Oh, it's right on the foul line.
That's what the white line is. You learn new things every day here.
Of course. It's a learning experience. Overall. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3.
2 outs? Yeah.
So Austin Daly, already 2 outs for the Bulldogs. They're trying to come back. Everyone is dancing outside of our peripherals, just trying to make me laugh, and it's working. I'm not gonna lie. So Austin Daly, for the most part, hitting few and far between. So maybe Daly can get it started for the Bulldogs. Horwitz. The strikes come in early and often for Horwitz. I mean, he's just in the zone right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So here we go. Horwitz. Hit there over the middle. Can they get to it in time? It looks like they can. Can they throw it to first base? Oh, they miss it! Error there, and luckily for the first time today, Rockland gets on base.
That's not a great thing to say after the first 1.5 innings. But they're going to get there, hopefully, get a couple runs in, and take down the Clippers.
Take all the lucky bounces you can get. So Norwell just trying to get out of this inning. Hold on to that 1-0 lead. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Comes the 0-1 pitch. So, good hit to deep center field. Can that ball drop? Oh, he tried to grab it, but no good there. Fantastic effort from the center fielder for Norwell, but no dice. Rockland gets two runners on, first and second. A little bit of R&B for Jake Levy's walk-up song. I like that.
It's all fun until we get some Elvis Costello and I start freaking out up here.
Wait till someone plays some like 1950s stuff.
I'm not that old. You're older than me. What are you talking about?
No idea what you're talking about. But Jake Levy, runner in scoring position.
Woo.
So trying to get something to go for the Bulldogs. Already in an 0-2 count.
Right into the cage. That's a cage. Fencing.
So I think this is one of the first times we've seen Levy at batting.
Yeah, I believe so.
More known as a pitcher, so we may see that going into the rest of the game if it doesn't work out for Hayden Hatch. But overall, it's been a gritty game. 1 or 2 errors has been the main difference maker. And that ball goes over the stadium. Put the over the stadium counter at 1. I'll actually keep track of that after last game.
We should get another graphic going.
That would be a fantastic graphic to get going. And a swing and a miss for Levy. Runner in scoring position, no good. Rockland will go back on defense at the start of the 3rd inning. We will get a stat segment from our good pal and buddy Tommy. But
All right, Tommy, you're up.
not a good start for the Bulldogs. Tommy, the floor is yours.
The good news is that if I ever had a walk-up, I think I'd make it Elvis Costello.
That's still gimmicks.
I'm not stealing your gimmick. Alrighty, so let's see. Hatch up to, I think, 40 pitches. And for Harwich, up to 25 already, so a 15-pitch difference there. Good, solid inning by both teams. You know, yeah, so Hatch is looking pretty good through the second half of this inning. Good hits. Good hits there by the Bulldogs. I do have to say, impeccable play by that center fielder there. Wow, tries to make the dive, just no dice.
That was very close to being a highlight play, like we saw in our first game where that pitcher grabbed the ball in thin air. So, going to be really interesting. It goes back to Horwitz just dominating. I mean, it looks like he's in a flow state. So, going to be really interesting if they can knock him out of it. A few errors, got some runners on for Rockland, but we will get DJ Rocco back up here. Going to be really interesting to see what happens here in the 3rd inning.
Jeez.
We're stealing gimmicks now?
Apparently.
I guess so.
My new name is Tommy. There we go.
In that case, Justin's rewind will be coming out shortly. Really, it's obviously been a joy, DJ Rocco, to be here. Obviously, if you are here next season, that'd be
fun.
That would be an absolute blast as always. Love talking about Rat Race.
Yeah, Rat Race is a fantastic movie.
Like I was mentioning that YouTube video or the TikTok that you saw. You said the niche clip where it's like
that was such a niche clip. That was on the TV in one of the first scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
And I had completely I had to look it up to remember that. So that was a good call on your end there.
Yeah.
I love the my favorite scene personally is when Cuba Gooding Jr. goes into the gas station bathroom and he's getting the clothes off of the bus driver.
Yeah.
That is the funniest thing ever.
It's definitely an interesting movie. I only saw it once.
I think it's worth a rewatch.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be worth the rewatch. But for some reason, that one clip stuck with me every when I watch Rat Race, and that clip's been living in my head rent free for. I think I watched that in like 2013.
Wow.
So.
John Lovitz is my favorite in that movie. John Lovitz is my favorite in everything. He's a really funny guy.
Oh, hit by pitch. So that will get him on first base. Hayden Hatch struggling, so I guess he's trying to injure the competition. Make it easier on him.
Hey, that's what you got to do in hockey sometimes, you know?
Sometimes that is the case. Of course, since the last time you were with us, Some NHL news. Torrey Krug retired.
Yeah,
Boston Bruins legend. And pickoff there will be safe.
That was a close one there.
Levy actually caught the ball that time.
Yeah.
Rather than the error from before. And that's going to be a high ball. I mean, Levy's pretty tall as well.
Yeah.
He's a mammoth of a human being, and I think he's only a sophomore or junior.
Mammoth, not from Utah.
Not from Utah. Good shot there.
Thank you.
Oh, a good line drive to left field. That ball will drop. We'll try and grab it. Lost it. Trying to get to third. Oh, my goodness. 2 errors in the same left field. That is a rare misstep for Gavin Matos.
Tommy's losing his mind over there. That was a rough watch there.
I mean, Gavin Matos had the ball in his hand and then sort of went back to grab it, lost it, found it again, missed throwing it, and then threw it again. Just like that. That is a double. So Norwell now have runners in 2 scoring positions. A log jam here for the Bulldogs. No outs. This is a bad situation to be in.
I think their best bet is just throw it right at third base.
So that'll be a ball. Hatch continuing to struggle, trying to break this funk.
Terry?
Of course. Legend. Don't get me started about Sabu. Ooh.
Oh,
how about
RHS
this for a
Sabu.
bunt? And that will be grabbed by Levy.
Good catch. Sabu was the, I have a giant ECW poster. I'll show you a picture of it. And he was the first guy I got to sign it. He was a nice guy. He said 6 words to me. We were doing the point. He went, other hand, higher, higher. And I won't forget that. That's it. That's all he said to me.
I mean, fantastic stuff. Sabu, obviously a legend, but Hayden Hatch being the opposite of that in this pitching matchup right now. But so Norwell with 2 runners in scoring position. They did get the one out. Levy got his powers back from catching balls after a rough first inning, but I mean, those pop flies, if you don't catch those, that's something you learn in T-ball.
Yeah.
Or not even T-ball, just, Little League.
Were you a Little League guy?
I talked to Coach Doyle about this, actually. I was there for 1.5 seasons.
Wow.
And a reason I stopped is because I got hit in the head with a baseball.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And that will do it. And Coach Doyle was like, yep, I agree. Good
Ooh.
hit, line drive to right field, and that ball will be caught. He's going to tag up and try and go home there. Levy trying to throw it home in time. He's safe.
Oh.
What a throw from the outfield to try and cut him off. Levy tried to throw it at home. No good. Norwell gets another run.
2-0 Clippers.
Oh, it always feels like a villain when you say that.
I know.
Clippers.
The Clippers. I feel like we have had 2 names that you can say very piratey. We've had the Pirates and the Clippers.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the... Whenever I think of Clippers, I don't think of pirate stuff, though.
I don't either. I just said it weird.
I just think of, I'm getting a haircut.
I think of like nail clippers.
That works too.
Yeah.
A lot of manicure and pedicure with that.
You big pedicure guy?
Nah, not really. I probably would look into it if we're getting into this field. So
that's we gotta cover a salon game next time.
And that's a deep hit to center field. Looks like it's a pop fly, and they'll grab it. Norwell's showing off the power, but Rockland showing off the discipline, and they finally get back on offense.
There was no effort behind that catch. That was purely effortless. This is now the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Rockland on defense.
It goes back to those errors. And
Offense. Wow.
It goes, but what I'm saying is it goes back to those errors. I mean, we talked about it, and out of all people, Gavin Matos doing that. That is a rarity. We say it's a rarity with a lot of people. Gavin Matos does not miss those very often. So that was shocking.
Yeah, for sure it was, and we'll see if he can recover from that, and see if the Dogs can recover from this.
I mean, honestly, the ball is starting to get hit a little bit. You're starting to see a little bit of offense generating, and like we said before, when it's any type of lead that you're trying to get back, it's all about worrying about the at bat. Don't worry about the score, especially we mentioned it last game where just worry about getting 1 run home, then 2 runs, then 3 runs, then 4 runs. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can do that. But
once the morale kicks back in, I think they'll be unstoppable.
I mean, we talked about it before. It's the potential of this team is through the roof. I mean, it's still, like we said, it's still a young team. A lot more. I think there's more sophomores than juniors on this team, which shows how young this team is.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a shows not only for baseball but for the rest of sports. It's in a good spot because they have this young core of guys trying to right the wrongs of Rockland sports. So Brady Nicholson will be up to bat. We're going to see if he can get anything to go for the Bulldogs. A little bit of Drake.
Props to you. I didn't even know who that was.
I believe that was Drake. It sounded like a high pitch version of Drake. And that's going to be a line drive deep. But that's going to go straight to the second baseman, and that's going to be an out.
Whew.
Grounder gets by the pitcher, but the second baseman saves him.
Colin Rao, hockey goalie, up to bat.
How's he been in hockey?
He actually did really good towards the end of the season when they started putting him in. He, I believe he had a, what's it called when you have 0 goals? On
Shutout.
Shutout, thank you. He had a shutout. That was extremely impressive.
Well, hopefully he can break this shutout of no hits today. Bazinga. All right, here we go. gotta throw one of those in.
Do you?
And grounder there. Will that be grabbed by the pitcher? It will, and that's going to be another throw and another out.
Eesh.
Rockland tried to hit the ball, but it's just not. It's not working out in their favor because it's just someone like Tommy mentioned grounders, and grounders only work if you get to first base.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to even get there because you got to hit it good, and then you got to run good. Because you can have a great hitter and then just a terrible runner. So you really got to be good at both aspects.
Call him Rafael Devers. Have you ever seen Rafael Devers run? It's one of the funniest things in the world.
Really?
If he's running top speed, looks like one of those cartoon characters.
Ministry of Silly Walks over here, apparently.
So already 2 balls and no strikes.
That's good.
Maybe Horwich is starting to burn out a little bit.
That would be good for Rockland here.
What a throw! That throw had to be at least 60 miles an hour. I mean,
we got to get one of those
insane
speed
stuff.
cams.
Don't give Seth any ideas. That's gonna be a ball. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Colin McKenna trying to get something to go for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss.
2 strikes?
Yes.
Ugh.
So full count here. Can they get this third out? And that's going to be a good hit from Colin McKenna, but that'll be foul.
Thank you to the kid that just yelled foul.
How about that? The running from Norwell has been, they're very speedy in the outfield, so fast that their hats get dislodged off their head.
That's always fun because the hat's supposed to block out the sun, and then you just get hit with all the sun in the world.
And then you end up like me and get hit in the head with a baseball. Swing and a miss, and Norwell will get out of the inning.
The bottom of the 3rd?
And yes.
Yeah. All right, so Tommy Welch is coming back for another stats segment. This game's going by much quicker than the last one.
Yeah, it's one of those low-scoring games where it's really just the next run's going to probably win it.
Yeah.
Whether it be Norwell or Rockland, so.
Yeah, and Tommy's talking to our producer, so when he's done with that, he's going to be right back on, and we're going to see what happens here. 2-0 Dogs, top of the 4th. Tommy!
All right. The man, the myth, the legend, Tommy.
I wouldn't call myself a legend.
I'm calling him Tommy Stats from now on.
Alrighty, so for Harwich, he's got 33. Hatch with 52. So yeah, as they say, the pitching bank has been robbed. So yeah, good outing from both teams. I'd say just the mess up by Gavin Mattos there. You don't see a lot, but it kind of like impacted it like very, very much.
It comes from the fact that he's a senior with that leadership quality as well.
Definitely.
It's a rarity. over the course of the broadcast we've done today, or overall in general, we've never seen Gavin Mattos have an error that bad. We've seen errors before, but not to that extent.
Yeah, like I think like the biggest error that we've seen is probably at first base when like they ball the ball sometimes. Not as big as that.
That was the reason you got to run it to third base, and that's the reason that runner scored, because he tagged up after a good hit from Norwell. So
yeah.
With that being said, DJ Rocco will come back in here. Start of the fourth, and Tommy, the stat legend.
Alrighty, so yeah.
Time for Rat Race to come back in. And a good hit from Norwell over to the left side. That's going to be down the line. That will only get him to first base, but what a hit there.
Now, something we didn't talk about last game is music somehow. So everyone knows my favorite artist is Elvis Costello. Who's yours?
Oh, I hate this question. It's the only reason is I'm one of those people that I like listening to everything.
Okay.
It depends on my mood. Oh, we see a bunt here. How about that? Trying to throw out at first, and he does. They advance the runner to second. That's the first time we've seen a bunt this season.
Don't see many of those.
But luckily, they were disciplined enough to grab it in time. What a good bunt. That was perfect distance and everything.
I always like the stance they get, because I was like, you get right into it, you know? It's a position. There's a bird coming through.
Like a Mortal Kombat stance. But yeah, if I had to choose an artist that I love all their music, would probably be Rise Against.
Okay.
A little bit of a rock guy myself.
Okay.
I've realized that one of my favorite genres has turned into dad rock. I'll call it divorce dad rock. So that's interesting there. Trying to grab it there.
3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace is one of those there. A little bit of a fumble there from the shortstop, but Norwell gets on first and third. Yeah, 3 Days Grace. I'm trying to think of others. See, there's up there. I'm trying to think. But also, like I said, I listen to everything. It depends on the mood. But if I had to choose
AC/DC?
one, yes.
There you go.
It's now in a bad situation for the Bulldogs. Already down 1-0, only one out. Ooh, and that's a ball. That's going to be a steal.
Oh, a little twist of the ankle there.
Don't mind me. I'm swatting at a fly. That's above my head. But
Jeff Goldblum.
yes. Apartments.com is what we like to call it. That man, Jeff Goldblum does not age. Can I just say that? Jeff Goldblum, he hasn't aged for about 50 years.
If you ever get the opportunity, watch and or listen to him on Conan's podcast. Some of the funniest stuff you'll ever hear.
Oh, I'm the same way with who was it? Or just anytime Theo Vaughn's on the podcast.
Yep.
He's a joy to listen to.
I'm a big Harland Williams fan as well.
Okay.
Got tickets to go see him in September. That should be cool. He's a very funny guy.
So here we go. Norwell with a chance to get a scoring run home. Swing down line drive, trying to grab it, and he does.
Jabroni?
He's going to throw it out at first, trying to throw it home. He can't, so Norwell will get a run home.
I don't know why the player on third base stalled for a minute there. I would have just booked it if that were me.
I mean, at that point, you don't have to worry about other things with that, but unfortunate there. So Norwell does get a second run home. One runner on second base.
3-0 Clippers.
I thought it was 2-0.
No, that was the third one.
Ah, even worse. All right, here we go. Rockland is just those small mistakes have been the difference maker here in this game. Foul tip there.
Hatch still on the mound here.
They still trust him, but I mean, I think at this point you're seeing signs of, possible. I wouldn't say burnout, but just like he's fatigue is the better word for it. As that was another run home for Norwell, that will make it 4-0.
This is most certainly a rough game for Rockland. That's fun to say.
So with that, 2 outs. Very surprising that Hatch is going to stay in there. Not even a mound visit.
I doubt he makes it to the top of the 5th.
I would be surprised as well. And pick off there, that'll be safe.
I feel like his best bet might just try to be do some pickoffs, because these guys can obviously hit and hit well.
Yeah. This is a very tough to know what to. How about that for a hit
Exactly
deep
what
to
I'm
center
talking
field, and that will be caught pop fly.
Wow.
Luckily, you get bailed out of the inning by a great play by the center fielder.
Was that who was that? I can't tell. I can't see.
You can't see?
I can't see. I can't see.
Are you legally blind?
No, I just have glasses.
Well, because I am.
Really?
I'm technically legally blind, but
Fun fact.
That was Braden Nicholson.
Oh.
I wear contacts. That's a true story. I wore glasses for the longest time, but then I just hated them.
I don't think I could do contacts.
It's definitely an adjustment, adjustment you need to make, but overall, that's good too. But going back to music,
Yeah.
definitely, I like I said, I like listening to everything. It's some categories with everything in music, so it would be like some rap, some country. I'm a big EDM guy. I've always been a big EDM guy. People are like, oh yeah, who's your favorite artist? And I'm like, I hate this question because everyone's my favorite artist, but
Fair enough. I logged over. This isn't even my favorite artist, mind you. I logged over 7,000 minutes of Frank Zappa last year.
wow.
And that was that was my top artist. That was he's not. I love Zappa. He's definitely top 5. He just has so much stuff, and I'm going through his discography. It's there's a good amount of stuff out there. They're still releasing new stuff. New album coming pretty soon, actually.
What made you have that be your favorite artist? Was that always your music taste when you were growing up?
What do you mean?
How'd you get your music taste?
How to get my music taste?
To be so
Well,
vintage.
my parents played a lot of older stuff, but then that kind of, you always get like recommendations on the. I use Amazon Music, so just there, and then it like branches off, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And then you hear an artist, and you're like, oh, this is pretty good. Oh, they're touring with this guy. Let me listen to this guy. And then it kind of just expands into this monstrosity.
I could definitely see it that same way as well, but with that, Dustin Ayer will be up to bat.
Let's hope Dustin Ayer has no errors.
That was pretty funny.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So yeah, as you heard from our stat king, Braden Nicholson's going to be warming up. So let's see. I broke my commentator, pal. I'm sorry. You will not be able to commentate. So
No, no, I'm done. I quit, actually. I will not be at the Saturday game.
oh boy, that just means more Tommy, baby. All right, Dustin Ayer trying to get something to go for the Bulldogs.
That should be his Twitter handle, Tommy baby. Tommy _baby.
I think Tommy McStats would be better. Tommy McStats or anything or like Statalopolis, Statosaurus. Oh,
I
Tommy
like that.
Statosaurus. Wow,
I
that's
like
actually
that.
really good.
That is good.
Statosaurus Rex over here. So with that, number 20 for Rockland will be at the bat. Like we said before, Nicholson is warming up for the Bulldogs, so we will see a pitching change here in the 5th inning. Good hit there, deep to right field. Can they grab it? Yes. They can. That'll be 1 out.
Ooh.
Of course, your good buddy Cooper LaRocco up to bat.
Yeah, Cooper, great hockey player as well.
How's he as a person?
He's Tommy says good. I don't know him too well. Oh, geez, my tie is flying away here.
A little bit of wind here, but not nearly as bad as our first game.
No, that was
where you
certainly
couldn't
an
hear the
experience.
audio. I somehow was able to get clips off that, but
That was impressive,
barely.
actually. That you got some good clips.
and that's gonna be a runner. They're gonna try and get steal attempt, no good. That's an out.
Wow. Look how dusty he is right now. That's
And no reward for it.
no. That's rough. That is rough.
He gets to go to the dugout covered in dirt. Cooper LaRocco trying to get something to go for the Bulldogs. 2 outs already. And that's going to be a ground ball here. Oh, how about that for a rare error for Norwell?
Base was back there. You didn't have to keep running.
So a rare error is maybe the start of something beautiful for the Bulldogs in this comeback. Probably unlikely.
This is the once again the bottom of the 4th inning.
will say Horwitz is he's thrown gas. He's been doing pretty good. He's had a very fantastic game.
For sure. Speaking of gas, I think it would be a great idea if we went to like a gas station and got these big,
I thought you were going to
giant
say something about
barrels.
Taco Bell.
No. And we took the gas, right, and we put it in the barrels, and then we sold the gas as our own.
WRPS gas?
Yeah. Not sponsored, Nick.
I can't even have Dairy Queen. Unfortunate. So here we go, Norwell. Trying to get out of the inning.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice little walk there.
Hit by pitch. Luckily, it only tipped him, but. So Gavin Mattos up to bat. I mean, we're seeing this is deja vu, and hopefully not, because last time 2 runners were on, they got an immediate fly out. So just get the ball in play. That's all you care about.
Is he tying his shoe?
Hey, there's never a bad time to tie your shoes.
His mother was a hamster, and his father smelled of elderberries.
The 3 people that will get that reference is fantastic. Oh my goodness. Horwitz. Gavin Mattos up to bat. Trying to get something to go for the Bulldogs. Getting the ball in play is the biggest thing. Don't go for the power hit. Just go for a hit line drive. Get it past the initial field. And that will not get past the third baseman. And Norwell will get back on offense.
That was a rough inning, as all of them have been, really. And I got nothing else to say here, so I'm going to hand it over to Tommy.
Oh my God. Okay, so Harwich, 38 pitches. Hatch, 65. So good pitch count so far. And also, why are you guys starting to make me nicknames?
Well, you know, like Tommy the Stash or Rex. I love that name.
I'm not even going to get my input on that one.
But, I mean, honestly, like we said before, Nicholson is coming in. You mentioned it to us, so.
No. Hatch is still out there.
Really?
Yep, Hatchy is still there.
So, going to be really interesting to see if that is the case.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll see if Nicholson comes in. We saw him warming up here.
Yep.
In the 5th inning, so we'll see if that's going to be the case, if Hatch struggles at least a little more. It really hasn't been his fault, though. It's been sort of like both sides, where he hasn't had the best day, but the errors haven't helped him.
Yeah, because like if you look at it from my perspective, you have the Mattos errors. You have a little bit of a bobble play at first. You have a little bit of a rough fielding, so it's not Hatch's fault. Like last game, you could have said that it was Hatch's fault because he wasn't pitching that well. But this game, I think Hayden Hatch is doing an excellent job. What he is trying to do, he's at the top of the 5th, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and with that being said, we will get right into the next inning. How about that? A deep, high fly ball, and looks like that will be grabbed. Yes, it will.
What a pop-up as I throw it back to Rocco.
Thank you, sir. DJ Rocco from Rockland.
So I will say, we mentioned it last time with Tommy. We've had some restaurant talk.
Yeah.
What's your go-to restaurant in the area?
In the area, for what?
Just anything.
Anything?
Whatever your go-to spot is.
Because over in Hanover, I get Chinese food. We go to Imperial Garden mainly.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I heard you guys talking about pizza last time.
Ooh, yes.
Spencer's, I think, has probably the best around here.
Definitely, it's definitely up there for me.
Kwan's Kitchen's crab rangoons throw me off a little bit. You got to have a Kwan's Kitchen crab rangoon compared to
and
China.
That's a line drive.
I've never had that, little man.
Runner will go to first base.
Oh.
Definitely, I said one of the best all-around areas that I like to go to is Deanne's. Deanne's is
I haven't been to Deanne's in years.
Deanne's is a good local spot. Definitely some good things. Fun thing with the garlic knots there. They actually have an option that they don't specify on the secret menu that you add cheese to it.
Ooh.
And it's the best cheese on a garlic knot I think I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
Probably the only cheese on a garlic knot I've had in my entire life. But Still fantastic.
Yeah, I can. Cheese on most things are pretty good.
And runner there, Rao trying to throw it to second base. Ow! How about that? Rao picks off the runner.
That's a first. Yeah, Dairy Queen does have really good cheese curds.
I'm trying to think. There's another place that has cheese curds, but I don't know.
I found out I'm a bit of a cheese snob, if you will. I like fancy cheese a lot.
Are you a blue cheese enthusiast?
I do like a good blue cheese. Blue cheese, I go blue cheese if I'm having buffalo stuff. I'm not a big buffalo guy, but I'll always go blue cheese over ranch.
I will say, I'm in the minority here. I already know this, but as we see a good line drive there to the outfield, that'll get a runner on first yet again. But so Hatch is 3 away from his pitch limit, as we heard from the Statosaurus Rex. So, you're trying to make me laugh, and it's
when someone pulls up the "It's Always Sunny" pictures. That's when I lose it.
Seth is trying everything in his power to make me laugh. It is not happening. I will try my best to stay professional for WRPS, but I was going to say, we have another runner here. Definition of Insanity is doing the same thing over and over. Oh, my goodness. They thought he got him out, but they called him safe.
This ref is making some sketchy calls here. There's a baseball player coming in right now, actually, running. Maddie Leon Cavallo coming in late. I was wondering where she was.
And trying to grab it there. Looks like, can they get the out at first? Yes, they can, and luckily they get out of the inning.
That was
but happens from time to time. Sometimes life gets in the way.
That was a good inning by Rockland for sure. That was probably their best one this game.
So like we said before with Maddie, I mean, hey, life happens. You know,
Yeah.
It's definitely a situation. Maybe she told Coach Earl before. Coach Earl will still have her run across the field 17 times, knowing how Coach
Maddie's
Earl is,
Maddie's one of the most important people on the team. Extremely talented. And
what we talked about last game was that even with some of the errors she makes, it's more of a team-wide thing. She has a very high IQ for the game.
Did you see the article written about her?
I did not.
There was just one written about her recently. She's the first female on the baseball team ever.
That's a fantastic feat.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. But going back to our restaurant talk.
Yes.
There's another place I know that does cheese curds, but I forget. I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's Burger King, and they actually do really good cheese curds.
Interesting.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Very few good things come from Burger King. No offense.
I'm a Burger King guy. I appreciate a good Whopper now and again. Their milkshakes are the best, according to Tommy. Someone's never had a Five Guys milkshake.
But overall, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is probably what I used to have all the time that they sort of downgraded on quality was their Hershey pie. Definitely. Funny enough, there's a study that was done recently, and you know what the best overall dessert was?
No.
Across America through the polls, it was the Blizzard.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And McFlurry fell to number 5 in the rankings for that.
Interesting. That's a very interesting stat.
Yeah.
And we are still talking about restaurants. I want to give a shout out to No Problemo in New Bedford. Personally, we're not sponsored, but that's probably the best Mexican cuisine I've ever had. The burritos are gigantic.
We call that personally sponsored when we get to that.
Personally sponsored.
But
I'm a big New Bedford guy, so I was going to support.
Big New Bedford guy?
Big New Bedford guy.
Any friends from New Bedford?
I do. Shout out Teddy and also Roger, and formerly Sydney. Grew up in New Bedford.
And hit from Levy, that'll just be a foul ball. Will that reach the bench? No, not enough.
Sydney Bacabella, if you were wondering.
Yes.
Who else?
Don't know. That's a good question. So Levy, up to bat, good hit, line drive, but that'll be foul. We're getting hits, it's just not going the way you want. Rockland just trying to get the ball in play. That's their biggest issue. You put that ball in the right spot, that's possibly a double. So here comes Levy. Levy trying to get a ground out there.
Ooh.
Trying to get there in time. No good there. The pitcher gets there. But I mean, how about Horwitz? Horwitz has been fantastic for Norwell all game. Even with some of the errors, he's been able to get out of log jams multiple times. He's had a fantastic day.
Yep. I couldn't agree more with you. Definitely more than Hatch, who is not going to be pitching in the next inning. It's the bottom of the 5th, by the way.
Ball there. Of course, like I do every single game, shout out to everyone at WRPS. From our producer all the way down to our Statosaurus Rex. We appreciate them all.
Even Jesse the Jug.
Yeah. But Rockland just trying to get something to go. That's going to be another strike there. 2 strikes, 1 ball. Oh, good line drive there.
Oh.
Error there, trying to get it in time. Kenny, no, it's an error. First baseman couldn't grab it. Rockland gets on base. I love this announcer who's doing the lineups.
I know, he's fantastic.
He's just a fantastic. He sounds like a great guy with a great beard. You know?
I think he should have got paid for that, actually.
Wait, we're getting paid?
No.
Oh,
no.
wow.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lucas might. Lucas might be
I'll
getting
contact
paid.
Seth about payment.
Okay. Let me include me on that email.
We'll see if that happens. Hey, y'all doing this for free? Anyways, so runner on first base. Rockland just trying to get some sort of offense going here in the bottom of the 5th. No good there.
I have to imagine your arm gets tired a couple pitches in, so it must be incredibly important to work on the strength of your arm, especially when you're a pitcher and a hitter. Everyone.
Absolutely. In any situation, you want to push your body to the brink when it comes to sport. And wow, how about that steal there? Wild pitch gets him to second.
Why don't we call it a crazy pitch? I like that. Crazy pitch. Insane pitch.
I think the term is wild pitch, but I think crazy pitch, it just reminds me of backyard baseball.
It reminds me of like a crazy deal from Job Lot, not sponsored.
Ooh, it reminds me of Crazy Puffs now that we're talking about food. So that's a walk there. Better walk my way over to Little Caesars. How about that?
There's none around here.
There's not a single one around here.
There might be one in New Bedford, or is that Pizza Hut? One of the two. No, I think it's a Little Caesars.
I think there's one a little south of Rockland, but not to my knowledge.
What's happening
So
here?
a little pinch runner here. They'll take him out. He's not the fastest guy, but so they're gonna get the fastest people possible here.
We can do that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's
possible
a
in
good
baseball.
advantage there.
Horwitz. How about that? A good hit there. That's gonna be in the gap, and he's out.
Is out? Wow.
He tried sliding very close, but what a grab there from the shortstop to pass it to the third baseman. So 2 outs, but you still have a runner on first and second. Norwell has avoided disaster after disaster. It's been really impressive. So here comes Horwitz. That's going to be a ball.
Your scoring prediction was 7-4, right?
Yes.
So either it's going to be flip-flopped, or Dogs are going to have a couple of great innings here.
Hey, we've seen it before
We have.
where we didn't expect any scoring, and then all of a sudden Hull went on a scoreless drought, and Rockland took advantage and get 11 runs in 2 innings. So it's definitely possible. And
Ooh.
shot there,
Almost over the stadium.
denting the stadium.
I think it would be really funny if the ball just came for revenge on you. Just missed everyone else.
We've only had one ball go over the stadium.
Did it come really close to here, or just over to our producer's truck?
Multiple of them, and that's a strikeout for Norwell. So we're going to the 6th inning here. So we'll get Tommy on in a second, but talking about that, a lot of balls did go over the stadium, but there was one ball, it was when the game was already out of reach. And it was very close. We all watched it all. We all went like this and looked at the producer's car, and we're like, oh, that's going to hit it. and it was this far off.
That's impressive. I'm assuming Seth would have been very mad. And Tommy. Sorry, Tommy.
Time for the Statosaurus Rex to come in. What we got, Tommy?
Alrighty, so for Harwich, he's got 55 on the day. Hatch wrapping up with a total of 74 pitches on the day. Good little outing for him. As now Brody Nicholson takes the mound. I think he's number 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So a little bit of a pitching change here. You talked about it, and you sort of hinted that as it's almost reached the pitching maximum.
Yeah, because I think like after 75 pitches, I think you're not allowed to pitch for a certain amount of days, or if you go over it, it's like something weird. But I do know the pitching limit is between 75 and 105 pitches. Yes, I said 105 pitches.
I would love to see someone throw 105 pitches here for
Yeah.
a game, but with that being said, looks like they're getting warmed up here. What do you think is going to be the key factor for Rockland getting back in this game?
Hits.
All right, and what that means, I mean, you're not wrong, and it's not the hits that, because they're getting the hits. That's not the big issue on my end. It's getting contact hits in play.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of pop flies. You're seeing a lot of grounders. Not the Rockland we're used to seeing.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that being said, we'll get our friend DJ Rocco back up here for the start.
Yeah,
of the
we'll
sixth
see.
inning.
We'll see you at the end of the game.
It's always sunny in Rockadelphia. So here we go.
That was a good one there.
Getting warmed up here. So now here comes Norwell.
I haven't had a chance to plug my stuff. So you can follow me on Instagram at DJ Rocco from Rockland. Same with my YouTube at DJ Rocco from Rockland, and Twitter at DJ Rocco Rockland. Justin, what's your links?
It's all at Justin Bowman 00. It's on TikTok, Instagram. I'm also on YouTube.
Oh,
I'm also on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter. Been posting my stuff there. You've retweeted a few of them.
I have when I see them. I don't go on
very
often.
wonderful stuff.
I used to post on Twitter a lot more, but Instagram is where it's at. I get much more engagement on there.
Yeah.
Thanks to Seth. That was his advice. We should really stop feeding his ego.
I did it once and I stopped. You need to.
Yeah. I gotta reel it in.
Learning when to say no is a huge thing in life that I think everyone should learn that. But I think what they need to say is win for Rockland, because they haven't done that today. They haven't even got a man to third base yet, which is insane. And line drive. That will be fair. How about that? That will get a runner over to second base.
That was a tough one to watch there.
Right down the line. I know it's not an excuse. It's only very rarely you see that, but you will say also a few calls haven't really gone Rockland's way when it comes to the umpiring.
Yeah. And I appreciate the color blue the umpire's wearing. It's like a baby blue. And it's nice.
Definitely like that.
Both of them are wearing blue.
Might I say, this is
maybe
definitely
supporting Norwell.
Oh!
Ooh, we might be onto something here.
He's in coats. Like I was saying before, it's a beautiful day here.
It is. It's very nice.
Sun fully out of the clouds now, so I think it's 67, which is literally the perfect weather in my opinion.
Yeah, I like a good 67. The below 70 and above like 63, I think you're solid.
That's perfect day to go out to the Cohasset Beach. Is that what it's called?
Or the local record store.
Ooh, tip there. That'll be foul.
One of my favorite things to do during hockey season, I could see the monitor a little better, and I'd always know if I was on or not, and I would just make faces right at the camera the entire game when I was not on. That was fun.
So Brady Nicholson, we saw him in the first game. And that'll be a strike. And that'll be a strikeout.
Wow.
How about that from Nicholson?
Should have put him in first.
I mean, yeah, and I know you have to use certain pitchers, and there's the MIA rules when it comes to stuff like that. But Hatch has just been struggling. I think they should have taken him out far before it got out of hand like this. But that's just on me. Like I said, the method to the madness of these coaches, whenever I commentate, is not my decision making.
Why don't we get you out there on the coaching staff?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing. Because I would just say hit balls and just sort of let them go hog wild. And tip there, it'll be foul.
Sean Boostrom lately joined the coaching staff, I've been told. I did a unreleased promo with him for one of the baseball games I was supposed to announce last year.
Nice.
So fun fact that won't be released. I kind of keep that one in the vaults. It was pretty funny, though. We talked on banana phones because Seth happened to have a banana that day. Two bananas, actually.
Do you think we can contact Seth's podcast guest, the Ghost Hunter, and get some ghost help for Rockland? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's going to be like Lord of the Rings when they get all the green guys.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa!
2.
Make that number 2 over the stadium. Oh. There we now have an over the stadium counter. Someone included that. That is fantastic. Wow.
That's the greatest thing.
That may be the greatest graphics Seth's ever made in his entire life. I'm blown away that actually that our prayers have been answered.
That's amazing. Wow. That is a top 5 highlight right there. I think that and the Rocco wearing a Twin Peaks outfit is top 2 baseball moments.
I think honestly those 2 moments are probably my favorite moments at WRPS so far. Like at all. Those are just fantastic moments. That is wonderful. That caught me off guard. That's impressive catching me off guard.
I don't break that hard that often, but that was completely unexpected.
Swing and a miss. That'll be a strikeout for Norwell. So that's two outs.
I gotta wipe my eyes here. Wow, that was
Seth, you know.
Seth, you deserve a raise for that one. I'm doing it again. I gotta stop doing it.
Seth appealing to the fans, some fan service here from our producer. That's fantastic. I will not get over that.
I hope you make a reel about that one.
Oh, that is great. I need to make a reel about that, and then a 2-part on the Twin Peaks.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely, those are 2 that I need to lock in and work on.
Get a good clip from Twin Peaks, like there's a fish in the percolator or something like that. That's what you got to get. There's a fish in the percolator. Actually, I used a fish in the percolator on our baseball story I put out today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good there. So for Nicholson, trying to get a little time used for Norwell. Surprising, you're up 4-0, but. And that will be, I believe, a ball there. So 2 balls, 1 strike for Rockland. Runner on second. Nicholson trying to get out of this inning and give Rockland at least 1 or 2 more chances to get back in this game. And that's going to be a ground ball over the third base. And he's going to throw it, try and get out at first, and he does. Number 8 for Norwell, sort of try to bait him into going after him, but no luck there.
They still got 1 more half of an inning to get 5 or more runs here.
4 runs to tie, 5 runs to take the lead. Well,
maybe since the game's gone so quick, we can get some overtime action.
So honestly, I would love to see a game go to extra innings.
That would be
First
long.
time I called that.
That would be long. It's going to happen now.
That'd be really interesting. Obviously, you have Rockland is going to have the bottom of the 6th and the bottom of the 7th to get runs, so you don't have to worry about getting all 4 runs at once. But definitely working at it and trying to. You've seen that there's potential. They're getting runners on first. They're getting runners on second. But the fact that you haven't even got a runner to third base today, that is shocking.
Yeah.
Rockland. Even the one time they did, they called him out. It's been a rough day for Rockland, to say the least, on the offensive side.
This I think after the last couple games, the record is tied 6-6. I think they need to maybe have like a team breakfast or something to get them maybe go mini golfing.
Add plus 500 to keep team chemistry.
Yeah.
But,
they certainly have to do something.
Definitely, we talked about before in other games. obviously we're live on YouTube, getting streamed by people as far away as Scotland. I heard today.
Really?
Yes. So shout out Scotland. Shout out who's from Scotland?
That Samuel Hope from Austin Powers.
Oh, okay.
That's his full legal name. I don't think I could say his
Yeah,
character name.
baby.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Ooh.
Oh, good grounder
groovy,
there. That
baby.
could have potentially does. Gets in the first base. Rockland may be turning a corner here.
Now batting number 4,
Cooper LaRocco.
Cooper LaRocco.
So Cooper LaRocco trying to get on base. See if he can do it here. These jokes will not get any better. I apologize to the audience. How about that for a hit from Cooper LaRocco? Can they get back to it in time? Yes, they can.
What a catch.
What power from Cooper LaRocco. We were not expecting that.
Now batting number 10, Austin Daly.
So now Austin Daly. Coach Doyle sort of coaching him before he gets up to the plate. Probably talk to him about just getting on base, getting those line drives. Get runners in scoring position. That's all you care about. I mean, what a day for Horwitz. I mean, this would be an insane shutout of a game if he's able to complete it.
I think one game we should. Oh my God! Oh my God!
And,
oh my God!
and
Here it
that's
comes!
number
Here it
3
comes!
of Over the Stadium. This is wonderful.
It's fantastic. This couldn't be any better.
The shock and awe factor here at WRPS does not leave much to be desired. And that's going to be a grounder there, but they'll call that foul.
Will they?
Yes.
He just wanted to say hi real quick.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to his coach. I don't think the coach wants to say hi to him
No.
after an offensive performance like the Bulldogs are putting together right now. But still only one out.
Yeah.
Just worry about getting on base. Don't worry about other things. So picture in picture right now for us. And oh my goodness. Can they grab the ball and get a second out of it? And they do.
Man.
Impressive from Norwell. Foul tip to an out. Already 2 outs.
Gavin Manos getting an applause every time he comes out. That's a feat.
Gavin Manos trying to do anything. See any sign of life for the Bulldogs here on offense. Pitch here. Like I said before, I keep talking about it, but I mean, Horwitz, still, we're in the 6th inning, and he's throwing absolute heaters every single time.
Every time. Like, watch.
Another one.
Look at that.
Foul tip, so that'll be a strike there. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. Yeah, Matos with a good hit here. Could get a runner to third. Matos. That's going to be a line drive down the middle. Can they throw it to first base in time? And they get the out.
Ah, man. Tommy, you coming on? No? Okay. No, Tommy, I'm sticking around for the this transition over here. Clippers 4, Dogs 0. Top of the 7th inning here. Hockey commentator came out there.
I mean, it goes back to the discipline we talked about from this Norwell team. This has been the real key difference. And, I mean, the errors from Rockland, if there's no errors here, Norwell may still be leading, but only by half the score they do right now.
Yeah. And Nicholson back out on pitch. Matty Leon Cavallo now on the field. We're gonna see how this the rest of the game plays out here. I'm not too positive, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, it was great. You mentioned how in first time in history Rockland's ever had a girl on the baseball team.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Obviously, there's a professional women's softball leagues too. So maybe you can get into that. That'd be a cool story.
Yeah.
Could be really interesting there. Only story they're looking at right now is a story called Shutout.
Yeah.
'Cause that's exactly what the Bulldogs are in right now. I mean, this is not, it goes back to those errors, but also they're hitting the ball. It's just it's always grounders or it's always they're trying to go for the home run ball. I feel like that's what they've been doing every single time. Excuse me. Fly wanted to say hi to me. But I feel like for this entire game, besides a few line drives, they've been wanting to go for the home run ball, and it's just not working for them. And it seems like that's something they need to fix going forward.
And I haven't seen a home run yet, so they should seriously consider another strat in here.
Yeah, like I said,
Not Ocaster
like
either.
the money ball, just get on base. That's all. That's all that matters at this point in this game.
Little meet up in the middle. No Malcolm though.
Unfortunate. If we had a person named Malcolm on the team, that would be fantastic.
That would.
But here we go. Start of the 7th. Norwell trying to get some insurance runs before Rockland comes out for the last time. Pitch here. That'll be a low pitch there. That'll be a ball. For the most part, Nicholson has been able to control the chaos for the most part. And swing and a miss. Strike one. I mean, if this score holds, which most likely it will, I think the story of this game is Hayden Hatch. Unfortunately, as much as we hate to say it, he just needs to get a little bit better, and that's going to be a foul tip there. So that'll be 2 strikes. But it's just back-to-back games where it's just not working out for him at pitcher. And that's sort of the honest de facto reason they're in this situation in the first place. But
Do they? I don't think they ever do first pitches here, but we should get Bika for a first pitch.
I would love to see that.
That's what we should do.
And that'll be a quick out there.
That was a good one.
That's one.
Once again, the top of the 7th, 4-0 Clippers. Oh, someone just threw their helmet.
We should put up like a Rocco's podcast mention counter. See how many times we get that. That'd be interesting. The over the stadium thing caught me by surprise. That was fantastic.
Not as many as I'd like to, but
yeah, we probably get yelled at if we.
I would, not you. Not you.
No, I would still get yelled at.
He's gonna corner us in the equipment room.
In the equipment room?
Yeah. You ever been in the equipment room?
Seth brought me there one time, but
There's equipment in there.
it's more than equipment. But with that being said, here, 1 out. It's going to be a strike there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nicholson trying to at least keep it at 4-0. That's another strike there. 2 impressive strikes from Nicholson. Starting to tend to that shoulder a little bit.
Yeah. And it's
Ball
like
there.
this is something. This is
baseball.
Yeah.
Welcome to WRPS.
Professional
I'm
commentator
Justin
at
Bowman
work.
here alongside my host, DJ Rocco. So here we go. Pitch there. That's going to be a line drive. That's going to be grabbed. Can they throw it in time? Yes, they can. Impressive throw. Rockland just needs 1 more out. And then the bottom of the 7th will happen. The last chance for Rockland to tie up this game.
This is where it gets really critical for this team to get as much more they can get for runs and such. No one on base at the moment.
Nicholson trying to make Horwitz the last person at bat for Norwell. We'll say not as many people in attendance as last game.
Really?
For Quasit had quite the crowd. Let me tell you, it was mostly Quasit fans, but it was quite the crowd. Nevertheless,
The first game we went to had a decent amount of people that we covered, rather.
and that's gonna be a pop fly. Can they get out of their error ways? And yes, they can.
Good catch there. And that is it for the Clippers on the offense.
So now, Rockland, I have one question for you, DJ Rocco.
Yeah.
Do you believe in miracles?
Not in baseball.
Oh,
Not in high school
then
baseball.
this game is going to end sooner rather than later.
I don't know here. It's been a rough game. I think they're all blown out in a certain sense. We're gonna see what happens. Anything can happen, but I don't know. It's not looking too good. I feel like they would have at least gotten one run by now.
You're sort of hoping that Gavin Mattos is just being that senior leader and sort of
He's
started
just gonna be
driving.
him. That's what he's gonna do.
just trying to save anything here, trying to make the score at least a little bit respectable, if not tie up this game. It's not 4 runs is not insane.
No.
A meltdown can easily happen by Norwell, but like I said before, Horowitz has been the story of this game. He's been absolutely on fire for all of this game. So, going to be really interesting to see what Rockland does. Obviously, can they right the wrongs of the first 6 innings? Because right now, it's about, like we said before, worry about the first at-bat. Worry about the at-bat, and then the next one. Then the next one. Just get on base, get something going, and then maybe a good play happens, maybe a lucky bounce happens, where Norwell doesn't grab it. You know, it's one of those things. You've seen hints of that before from Norwell. So there's a good chance that we could see a comeback here, but what do you think?
I don't know, man. It's going to be a close one. If Rockland keeps it up, I think it's going to be over in three batters here. But hopefully they're able to come back. I think they got to get their best players out there, and yeah, we'll see what happens there.
So coming up to bat now, number 12. A little bit of a meeting here between the catcher and the pitcher. Like I said before, Horowitz, I mean, he's in the 6th and 7th inning, Rocco, and he's throwing still 60 miles an hour. But I think that's actually a new pitcher in.
Interesting.
So
Caleb Wallow up to bat for, it might be the first time this game. First, one of the first.
So I was just told that this is a new pitcher. So they reached the pitching maximum. But I mean, what a day for Horowitz. I mean, he had a complete day. Definitely probably going to get rewarded with the win if Norwell wins this game. Swing and a miss for Caleb Wallow. Coach Doyle telling his team to stay aggressive. Do not blame him one bit.
No fights, though. You can't. It's not hockey.
Unfortunate.
I know. It's the best part.
Honestly, it is one of the best parts of sports.
It is.
Just like, oh, you don't agree with the call? Oh, I'm just gonna, you know, throw it down the gloves. let's get it going.
I think my tie wants to be out of here.
Yeah, Caleb Wallow trying to get something to go for the Bulldogs.
Doyle being supportive now.
I mean, you have to be in this situation.
Yeah.
Give your team at least as much confidence as possible. And hit there, but that'll be a foul tip. So now it's a full count for Caleb Wallow. Can he get anything to go for Rockland?
I almost started singing. I decided not to, though. You're welcome.
Thank you for saving my ears.
You're welcome.
And, oh, that's going to be a ground ball. Oh, my goodness, that has potential. He does get the first base.
I don't know why you just stared at it. Should have picked it up there.
And will they call that a foul?
Yes?
Wow, I thought that was fair.
It did go over the line, so maybe that was...
End of the line, as they like to call it. Wow. I thought for sure that he got on first base there, but no good there, so still a full count. Foul ball.
Dracula? Count Dracula or...
Count Chocula. I got some Target cereal in there. And that's a strikeout there. How about that?
Only 2 outs left here for Rockland. Joey, man. He's about to save the game. Let's see.
So Higgins is actually the shortstop. Higgins is actually in for pitcher
Interesting.
for Norwell.
Come on, Joey. We got to get some prime manimal out here.
Trying to get the Manimal I mean, honestly, you want to hear about home runs. I mean, best chance here.
Yeah.
Nothing but power along that. And that will just go straight to the pitcher. 2 outs. Now you need to play perfect baseball if you're Rockland.
Who is it? Okay. That's a good pick. Good pick for Colin Rao here. Let's see if he can pick off a run.
Colin Rao, a lefty. You see many of those in MLB, not many in high school. Can Colin Rao get a good hit here? That goes over the middle. Can that? Oh, looks like he possibly could get the first, and he's safe.
Wow.
Rockland stays alive for one more at bat.
I believe Colin McKenna has the highest number on the team.
Really?
I don't think there's a number above 33.
I like the number concept, the jersey number concept for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
So Colin McKenna trying to keep the Bulldogs' hopes of winning this game alive.
This game depends on him right now.
1-0. Swing and a miss. First strike.
It is silent in here right now.
Trying to focus on everything. All comes down to this. And another swing and a miss.
If this was a movie, he'd hit this last one out of the park. We're going to see what happens.
It would go slow motion as well. So here we go. Colin McKenna.
Over the stadium.
Bat on his shoulders. Pop fly. I mean, barring an insane error, that will end the game. And Norwell will shut out the Bulldogs 4-0.
That was a rough game. I had a good time though.
Of course, as always.
It was good talking to you for the hour we were here. And shout out to the rest of our crew while I'm still here. And don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. Justin, thank you. And I'm going to give it back over to Tommy to end the game.
So here we go. Tommy, the status Rex here.
I think I might have cursed this team.
There's a good chance you might have, yes.
No, because here's the thing. For the past 2 games, I've went to Mike's right before this game. They've lost both games. So maybe I should stop going to Mike's.
So it's a rough game, but that will do it for us here at WRPS. And for us, we are going to see some stats. What stats would you like to show?
We got 24 for... dang it. We got 24 for Mickelson and 13 for Higgins. Just a rough game for the Dogs. That's all I have to say.
And with that being said, that will do it for us here on WRPS. And we will have a doubleheader Saturday and Sunday with 2 matches back-to-back. So that should be a lot of fun. Congrats and thank you to everyone here at WRPS. And we will see you guys in the next home game for the Rockland Bulldogs.